Bakerloo Line consultation. Councillor Smith.
Yeah, this is requesting that we send on its way our response to the Bakerloo Line consultation. This it's been a long time coming. I think the first time that the extension was suggested was in something like 1892. So
you remember it?
Yeah, well, yes, I was quite old then. It has been a long time coming. This hopefully takes us a step nearer to actually delivering it, to improving the transport structure in this part of the world. And it's something that I thoroughly recommend, having filled in the consultation on a personal basis and said, yes, we have to go for it. But all we need now is 2.8 billion quid and a certain amount of political will. But there's no political will backing here for it. So I'm recommending that we send it on its way to TfL along with all the recommendations included.
Okay. Simon?
I suppose just to add that we support the taking the extension to its fullest extent, all the way to Hayes, and also that the response in papers is supported by a full technical report, which will be sent to TfL as well. And I guess in terms of the development opportunities, there's been a development study which identifies potentially 10,000 new homes which could be enabled by the new infrastructure.
Questions, comments? Joe, then Kevin, then Chris.
Thank you. Just a comment that I'm very pleased that we're sending this response. There's huge demand in the community for the extension of the Bakerloo Line. There was a petition signed by over 900 people, which we've done on for the extension of the Bakerloo Line. As Alan said, it's been over 100-year wait. The Mayor of London promised such extensions in his manifesto and so far failed to deliver them. Alan rightly points to the political will needed to take this forward. Even under the TfL's plans, construction wouldn't start until 2023 with a completion date of 2030, so it needs to be taken forward as soon as possible.
This is really a comment, and perhaps if, I don't know if Deputy Mayor's got an update on this, is that, of course, whilst I would have thought that the borough is almost, if not unanimous, in supporting this, of course we do have neighbours, and to make this more attractive to the powers that be to fund it as well, we need to have us all work together. I understand that our neighbours in the London Borough of Bromley were not as so keen, and I wondered whether there's an update as to their position and how we can carry on making the case to them.
I unfortunately can't report there's been a significant shift in their thinking. Bromley doesn't seem to consider itself to be part of London, and certainly doesn't consider itself to be part of the economics of London. So to try and persuade them that this is beneficial to them has proved to be extremely difficult, but it doesn't mean we'll stop trying. And I think TfL, in their own view, recognise that actually if they extend the Bakerloo Line to Catford, it will by default extend to Hayes anyway, because it would effectively mean that people would have to change trains at Catford from a shuttle line running from Hayes to Catford, and then get on the Bakerloo Line extension because there wouldn't be anywhere else for the other trains to run on. So it's kind of if we can prove a business case to get it into the car, it kind of by default goes that far. We do now have Greenwich supporting us on this, and although it won't directly benefit them, the fact that there are more people behind it helps that case. So Southwark is fully behind it. We're fully behind it, and now Greenwich is putting the flag for us as well. So that's all good news. All we've got to do now is persuade them, or of course just have an election and change the leadership.
Chris?
Thank you. It was obviously very welcomed, and we've discussed it for many years, the Lower Sydenham extension for the Bakerloo, page 43. Two options that are suggested there. And in the past, we've, I think I just wanted confirmation, discussed relocating the station further towards the centre of Bellingham, near Southend Lane, so it's closer to the heart of the existing residential area. And we've recognised that we still need the industrial area because we need some light employment opportunities. So I'm really asking what the next steps are on looking at these options and whether there will be further work. We have in the past, going back quite a way, but set aside some planning game money to do some work on this. And indeed, we were sort of, former councillor Alan Pegg, RIP, was very keen on bringing the station further up. And I know as a borough we've in the past done an awful lot of work on it. So checking in where we are on that.
Yeah, we've set out the two options. The option to move the station is certainly has its benefits. You know, bringing it more into sort of the heart of the local centre and the regeneration that could come around that is quite an attractive option. But it's not without its issues. The sort of potential location is, you know, could have impacts for the waterway way and those kind of issues. The other option relies on is basically redeveloping the industrial estate, but the vast majority of that estate is in the borough of Bromley, so that depends on their position going forward. But that is perhaps an option that would bring along more development, and of course this is currently an unfunded scheme, and the more development that comes along with it, the better. So some of that does depend on Bromley's position, which Councillor Smith just mentioned. I mean, on that, I'm hopeful that this TfL consultation will identify a high level of support for the scheme, including those responses from Bromley, and hopefully that may shift Bromley's political position, but time will tell.
Okay, I'm going to agree that and send it its way. Thank you for that. That takes us to the borough-wide 20-mile-an-hour speed limit. Councillor Smith again.
Some of you might have read the reports in the local newspapers today. We have jumped the gun a bit, but that's fine. And I think this is possibly an opportunity for a bit of good news, something we don't very often get a chance of doing. The report said that we were against a borough-wide 20-mile-an-hour zone a couple of years ago, which is of course incorrect. We have been introducing 20-mile-an-hour zones across the borough for a significant number of years, in fact from before any of our neighbours were doing it across London. And we introduced those in areas where there were problems to reduce those problems and reduce accidents. My view 2 years ago, and I have to say still my view, is that actually what we should be looking at is national legislation to lower the speed limit from 30 to 20, which would remove ambiguity from place to place and give nobody an excuse to say, sorry, I didn't see the signs. However, the government isn't going to do that. It would also have saved us an awful lot of money, but they've done that for, they're not going to do that. So we're left with the other option, which is to finish off the work that we started a number of years ago, finalise all the areas. It's quite a difficult one because, of course, having dealt with the difficult areas, there isn't really a business case to spend the money that we have to spend to do this, which would normally be recovered from the cost of accidents. And these are areas that have very, very low or non-existent accident stats. However, we can find a way forward. I think we can see that, according to Taylor, Lineman Barua, whether I can't pronounce, a 1 mile an hour speed limit, 1 mile an hour drop in average speed reduces collision frequency by 6%. What our evidence has shown us is this will reduce average speeds by about 4 miles an hour, which may calculate out to 24% reduction in accidents, and I think that's generally good news. I think it's also good news and couples with the work that we talked about earlier about our quiet ways of cycling, so that we can make our roads safer for cyclists and hopefully encourage more of those nervous cyclists rather than the mammals, the men in lycra, middle-aged men in lycra. I might have been one of those 20 years ago, but I don't wear lycra and I'm no longer middle-aged apparently. So we need to, what we really need to do is encourage nervous cyclists onto our roads, reduce our road pollution problems, and improve area quality. And I hope this goes some way towards doing it. So I am recommending that we go ahead and spend 1.13 million from our reserves to put this in place.
Okay. Simon? No? Liz?
Liz, yeah, thank you. It's really just to reiterate what Councillor Smith said, and the fact that 65% of the borough's roads are already 20 miles an hour. So the most important thing we need to do, I think, is offer a fair and consistent road network for everybody, for all of our cyclists, pedestrians, school children. The report sets out the proposed approach, and it's really just seeking your approval to get on and do the work and make a difference. Thank you.
Questions? Comments? Kevin? Joan? Rachel?
I think this is, as Deputy Mayor said, this is really good news, and is one of our major manifesto commitments that we're actually able to deliver on despite the tough financial climate. And I certainly think the indirect benefit from that 1.1 billion that we're putting into reserves, I think in the long term will be beneficial, and if nothing else, will change the norms in driving our area, which is great. The specific question I have relates really to enforcement, and paragraph 5.14 says that to achieve compliance, there should be no expectation of the police to provide additional enforcement beyond the routine activity, and this has been explicitly agreed. So I understand that I think in other parts of London, I think Islington in particular there, the police are now being much more active in enforcement. Do you know what how our police in Lewisham, what their approach to this is, or if not, what we're going to do about it?
Our main plan is to work alongside the police all the way through so that we take them with us. I did go to a meeting last week where I think 20-mile-an-hour speed cameras are now available, so that will be a really big plus, that we won't have to rely on police time to actually enforce it, but on the particular roads where we find people aren't compliant, we can look at possibly putting the cameras in. Sometimes it can even be just for a short time, just to bring the compliance up and then move them. But that's sort of work in progress for TfL, but that will be, I think, the main route.
Joan?
Yeah, I just want to echo after a very positive report. I'm aware that this is something that Lewisham Council has been doing for some time, but I'm also aware that there were a number of roads where we couldn't put these measures on. So presumably 5.7 of the report refers to this relaxation of the Department for Transport regulations, and obviously needs to be noted.